We're working through all the free video tutorials on the Husqvarna Viking Onyx 30. But one question people ask us a lot about is how to attach a walking foot for quilting all your layers. And what about using a free motion quilting foot as well? And with this machine, you can do both. And since this machine does come with a 1/4-inch foot, after you're done with all your piecing, you're going to love the fact that you can finish your quilting project with either straight line quilting or use decorative stitches with a walking foot or free motion quilt your finished project. Let's do the walking foot first. So work with your local Husqvarna Viking store to get the exact walking foot for this machine. It is considered a low shank walking foot, and it does have this arm that moves up and down. The key to this arm, though, is where it is placed once you have unscrewed the ankle and removed the ankle and the foot from the machine. Remember, you do have a screwdriver in with the machine. It's kind of short, but it will work perfect for this job. So go ahead and loosen the screw and remove the foot. I like to leave the ankle attached to the foot so it doesn't roam around your accessory box white on white and be hard to find. So if you store it away like this, it's much easier to locate when you're done with your walking foot. The key with the walking foot is that this arm needs to be placed above the needle screw here. I like to hold the walking foot with the arm kind of above my thumb so it can be positioned correctly while I'm bringing it around the post where I'm going to attach the screw. After finger tightening it in place, make sure you use the screwdriver to lock it in so it doesn't wiggle loose. Now you can use it just like a regular presser foot. Just make sure you lower it when you start to sew. When working with thicker layers, I'll often lengthen the stitch lengths to 3 or 3.5 so the stitches don't look too short when sewing through batting and multiple seams. You'll see that the feed dogs of the walking foot help pull the layers in nice and even so they don't start to slip and slide when you have batting in place. Use the needle stop down button to turn corners and make any design that you want to stitch in your quilt. Remember, you can have fun with lots of different stitches, including decorative stitches, the serpentine stitch, and lots of different thread choices as well. After doing a little testing on your fabric, make sure that the tension looks the same front and back. If you feel like you need to adjust it, for example, I can see I want to tighten up my top tension just a little bit to get a better result for the layers I'm going through. When switching over to free motion quilting, I always recommend that you do a little practicing because this is very unnatural for you to lower the feed dogs and then move the fabric in the different patterns you want to go in or quilt your quilt in. So we're going to loosen the screw, take off the walking foot, and before I forget, slide the accessory box off, reach behind the machine, lower the feed dogs, and then we'll be set up for free motion quilting. Now it doesn't matter which stitch length you have because the feed dogs have lowered, but you probably do want to make sure you're back on stitch number 1 with the needle in the center needle position. And don't forget to bring those feed dogs back up once you're done free motion quilting. Again, tighten up the screw to make sure that it doesn't wiggle loose. I did lower the needle down just a little bit to help me get the foot into place because it is a little spring loaded. That will give you a little assistance. Now, with a free motion quilting foot, you're going to notice that it hovers above the fabric, and you will need to remember to lower this down. You'll notice it still hovers, so it's hard to tell whether your presser foot is up or down. So just make sure that it's always down before you start to sew. Before we get started, let's take our speed and move it towards the middle. This will be like having a cruise control when you're free motion quilting as you start to get used to how fast to move the fabric while you're quilting. If you want to bring up your bobbin thread, go ahead and touch your needle up down button 2 times and bring the bobbin thread up so you can start without any tails kind of getting lost underneath. Take a few stitches in that same place and get to feel for how fast the machine is running and how fast to move your hands. So the key is finding that happy middle. So your stitches look nice and even as you're moving your fabric under the needle. To have the needle stop always in the fabric, which I prefer when I free motion quilt, touch the needle down button on the machine. Now comes the fun part. As you work to get your stitches nice and even in stitch length, you can start to kind of practice some of your loops, going around different areas of fabric like a flower and the leaves, or even picking up a pre-printed panel that you can do some practices on before you start to move to your actual quilt. I usually recommend to my students also is to find some free motion quilting classes, some online classes that can take you from zero to hero. But now that you know how to set up your Husqvarna Viking Onyx 30, you know you're going to have the tools set up correctly as you start into your journey of mastering free motion quilting. If this has been helpful, make sure you're clicking like on the videos and find the complete playlist of all the free videos that we have done in the description below. Happy sewing!